What's going on, everyone? Just doing a little update on my 90-gallon clown loach tank. I primarily keep clown loaches in here, even though there's my gold severum, some tiger barbs, and my orange grommy. But I know I've talked about it in my other videos that I've had issues with my tap water, and it kind of settled down. I actually lost some fish in my other tanks, but in this fish tank I really haven't lost any fish. The only thing is just that I've lost a lot of free time, in the sense that the water, the TDS, shot up. The most I ever had it was about 250 coming out of the tap, and recently it's coming up like around 850 TDS. The GH, KH super high, but the worst part is that even though it doesn't have any ammonia or nitrites, it has a ridiculous amount of nitrates, which caused a huge algae bloom in here. My glass is still a little bit dirty, but it's finally under control. I'm from the old school, so yes, I have an under gravel filter, which I love, because I used to like to power feed my fish because I like to see them grow fast. I like to do crazy water changes, but being that my water's so bad now, I don't really feed them that much anymore, but they're still big fish. As you can see, I have some plants up here that I've failed miserably with. I keep my fish tank, being that my clown loaches, I worry about ick in here. I keep it around 82 to 83 degrees, and for some reason, well, not for some reason, plants don't really like the 80 degree temperature, so they kind of melt away. I was experimenting with jungle val. I planted it and it died, but I'm letting it float, and that one hasn't really melted. It stayed small for the last couple of months. And I also have some other plants. I mean, these are some plastic plants, but I forgot what this is called right here. But that one's doing well so far. But again, my nitrates are through the roof. I had to watch some videos. I mean, I stole the idea. Well, I got the idea from Corey from Aquarium Co-op to put a sponge on all my intakes. So I actually put sponges here on all my intakes. I have the underground filter, which I still believe in. I ended up getting one of these little refugium things, and I actually planted some pothos to help with the nitrates. Have them over there. Put them their own little light. I also love watching the Pond Guru, and I actually bought some Biohome media. Then I went and I bought this little booster filter, and I put the sponges in this one, and then I put the Biohome over here, which I've been reading up on some other people talking about anaerobic bacteria, and I think the oxygen is going to be depleted here. And then I have that other sponge over here for my canister filters, that by the time that the water's hitting the big canister filter, there probably won't be that much oxygen once it goes in here. So I'm probably going to have in the Biohome a lot of anaerobic bacteria, which will hopefully help me with my nitrates. But as you can see, my fish are super healthy. The water's crazy clean, which, I mean, doesn't really mean anything as long as the nitrates are high. But I'm finally getting it under control. My nitrates, they got up as high as almost, well, actually they probably went over 80 parts per million because they stopped testing there. But right now I have them, I think, at 40, which I guess would be good if I had plants, but I don't in here. So I want to get my nitrates really low, so hopefully this works. The fish are super active. They're eating a lot. Earlier they were just swimming around after I did a water change, and they're having fun goofing around like always. As you can see, this is one of my big ones in there hanging out. That's one of my fish that was actually one of my loaches that I had adopted and ended up being sick, and I had to quarantine him for about 3 weeks. He's finally eating. But yeah, the fish tank's looking good. The algae's finally under control. Fish are eating good. Their scales, everything looks good. Their color looks good. As you can see, just a little bit of algae in some of the areas right here. But driftwood, everything I mean, the watercolor, everything looks good. I have a lot of algae on the back, but I don't mind it. It's good for my plecos. Speaking of my plecos, where are they? I don't know that's one of my catfish in there. But as you can see, the clown loaches are in there. And I'll probably do a follow-up video in a couple of weeks to see, well, I'm probably going to be focusing on this tank a lot just because I'm super curious about doing the whole biohome, which I hope it works because I really enjoy watching Paul Guru and awesome tips, and hopefully it works. But as you can see, it's been a week, and I mean, right now what I'm doing is the reverse osmosis for the nitrates. So I've been doing that, and then with small water changes, hopefully it gets down, the TDS gets better, because I know that right now it shot up to like 550 in here. I know that's not good for clown loaches, but yeah, hopefully it all turns out well. Got my aquarium co-op stickers right here. Every time I order something, they send me a sticker. I like to keep track because big fan. But just cleaned in here. So let's see, hopefully that little filter works. And the output on the filter kind of went down a little bit, but since I have a lot of circulation here with my power heads and then the bubbles, and then I have another filter hanging in the back, I know people would say it's overkill, but I like to keep the water moving. As you can tell, you know, a lot of movement. And even with the nitrate super high, the fish did well, but I know that I don't want to stress them out, so I have to get my nitrates under control. So hopefully it works, because the reverse osmosis water changes, they can be a pain in the butt just because it's so slow to get my water change, to get the clean water. And then from there, I feel guilty about all the water I'm wasting. It seems like for every good gallon of water that I get, I waste about 2 to 3 gallons. And I live in California, where we're still actually in a drought, and I feel terrible about wasting water, even though I try to save some of the wastewater, but unfortunately I can't save it all just because it's time consuming. But I'll figure something out. But thank you for watching, and I will keep you guys updated, and I will show other tanks later because I've been working on those neglected tanks as well. Anyways, see you later.